Hey y'all, and welcome back to our channel. If you are new here, my name is Emily and we make recovery videos for severe anxiety, agoraphobia, panic disorder, DPDR, etc. So if you're struggling with that, definitely subscribe to this channel. Check out the link in the description for resources, including my free recovery guide and Facebook group. So first of all, if you're watching this, that means that I have had my baby, because I'm going in tomorrow to have him, my third baby, and I'm posting this probably a week or two later, so that's where I am. That's why I'm so swollen and congested and yeah, ready to have this baby. But anyway, so what I want to talk about today is basically overdoing it. What does it look like to overdo it? How do you know if you're overdoing it? How do you know if you're not overdoing it? How do you know if you're preventing yourself from moving forward because you're being too cautious about overdoing it? That was a big question of mine that I had. And I would say, like, especially those that are not in any form of like group coaching or whatever, it's really easy to follow the steps, make some progress, and then get hit with higher symptoms and feel like, oh, pump the brakes, I'm overdoing it. You know, I can't go to the gym again. That's not for me right now. I can't drive on the interstate again. I can't go on that camping trip. You know, I have overdone it. I need to step back. When in reality, maybe it's just your body trying to, one, throw you back into the cycle and keep you doing what you're doing. It doesn't like you living, you know. Two, maybe it's hormonal, you're sick or whatever, right? But it's really easy to get stuck in that cycle and kind of not make progress. So I want to talk about how to figure out if you're overdoing it and what that looks like. So what I would say, number one, is if you haven't already, download my guide, because it's really important to follow IDEAL, which is the acronym in there. Follow the steps to recover. And recovery is not just full force going back into life while you're panicking, while you're not responding properly. You know, that's kind of a recipe for disaster, right? That's what I did at first. I was like, I'm gonna force myself to go into the store and force myself to walk the neighborhood or whatever. But in my head, I was like, oh my God, you know, my symptoms, this is not good, this is not safe. And then I get in my house and I'm like, oh, okay, we made it, you know? And that's not really doing me any favors, or it wasn't doing me any favors. So first is learning how to respond. That is 110% the most important part here. Now, once you know how to respond, once you're using IDEAL, now you can use the rule of thumb of, am I able to respond if I were to do this? You know, does not mean, am I going to have a panic attack? Because you will, if you're dealing with panic anyway. Like, that is normal. Higher symptoms, normal. Panic, normal. That is stuff you have to get through and respond to show yourself that you can get through it and that you're safe and all that kind of stuff. So the symptoms are completely off the table. They don't matter when it comes to overdoing it. All that matters is, can you respond? So if you're like thinking, you know, someone invited me to lunch, I'm gonna have to drive 45 minutes and then I'm gonna have to sit there and all that stuff that goes along with that, right? So you ask yourself, okay, well, can I respond? If the answer is yes, but it's going to be extremely, extremely hard, perfect, go for it. If the answer is not a chance, you know, my mindset's terrible, I'm sitting in my car, I can't even think about responding, I'm just thinking about how terrible this is, my symptoms, how they're getting worse, yada, 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 then no. Let's pump the brakes, let's slow back, let's work, focus more on responding to the smaller things, then we can respond to the bigger things. But once you can respond, you can do quite literally anything. Like, you can jump on a plane because you're no safer at home than you are on this vacation, right? It's all the same, right? As long as you can respond. So that's what I would say the rule of thumb is as far as like overdoing it goes. And what you don't want to do again is get stuck in that listening to your symptom situation where maybe you go to the gym, you have a decent time, you can respond. You get home, you get hit with insomnia, you get hit with panic, your derealization is 700 times worse in the morning. Don't go thinking, oh, I shouldn't have gone to the gym. No. When you push against what your body's trying to get you to do and get you to stay stuck, in this state, you're going to have kickback. You're going to feel sore, quote unquote. You're going to have that anxiety hangover, like whatever you want to call it. You're going to feel it. You are definitely going to feel it. So throw symptoms completely out the window when it comes to overdoing it. I hope that helps. I hope that makes sense. Leave me questions in the comments and make sure you subscribe.